Easily the best known name in skydiving product development. Bill Booth, pleasure to see you again.
Good to see you, Douglas Spotted Eagle. I love that name.
Well, I always love how you say it.
Yeah.
One of my most pleasurable interviews is to see you each year. We've had some fun.
Mine too. Mine too.
We've spent some historical moments together. And speaking of, I think I've got a kind of a historical rig right here from you guys.
It is. This rig was made out of alligator, nice pure alligator, to commemorate PIA's meeting in Florida, which is the home of the alligator as far as I'm concerned. And we added a little touch of 24 karat gold hardware, plated anyway. No one can really afford solid. And it's a jumpable rig. Even the grommets are gold plated.
So wait. So looking at the size of this thing, you know what? I'll bet our audience would you guys like to see Roberto Mancino jump in this thing?
I'd like to see Roberto Mancino doing anything. So that's
fair enough.
Fair enough.
Will that fit her?
I think it will. As a matter of fact, we were going to let her walk around in it, but we were worried no one would look at the rig, and we'd have a problem. So we're going to try to get someone that's, you know.
I think that's a valid worry.
It's a valid worry, yeah.
I'll walk around in it.
Yeah, and that people would look at it. Yes, I agree. That would be good. That would be. I wasn't going to say that, but there it goes.
So we've seen some. You can probably put that down there.
Yeah.
I think we've seen some fairly historical moments in the PIA booth here with you. We've got what? How many years are we on the Skyhook now?
The Skyhook is now 12 years old, and using USPA's malfunction like every 607 jumps, someone has a malfunction, and the number of Skyhook rigs out there, like 18,000 rigs have Skyhooks on them, and the number of years we estimate now that we've had 10,000 actual Skyhook uses in emergencies. You know, so that's quite a number. It seems to be a mature system. And of all the things I've done, the hand deploy pilot chute, the 3-ring, the Skyhook has been the most trouble-free invention so far. It's been just flawless. So I'm very happy with it.
Well, I don't have a Skyhook on my rig. Maybe I should, but I'm an RSL user. The one thing you've got is I love the Stolas deployment bag. How have those done for you?
Pretty well. For 40 years, I've hated rubber bands. And I've tried to come up with alternatives. And it's not exactly Stolas, all right? It still uses 2 rubber bands for locking stows because, quite frankly, nothing we've tried works better. We tried bags with no rubber bands, and you had to be an artist and pack just right. And when it got out to the general public, it just didn't work. But this is working like gangbusters. People are liking it. It's a deployment that's as smooth as a free bag. All the lines come out of the center, couple little tuck tabs. Pretty soon it'll probably be magnets, but the rubber bands will probably always be there, at least for the locking stows.
I got to tell you, I mean, I love mine as a wingsuiter. I love not feeling that staged deployment where off my
Oh
back.
yeah, you can see the bag doesn't rock as it comes off your back. The lines come out clean, just like a reserve bag. So it's a kind of a free bag, but it's attached. And so we have all the research and the years of experience with free bags, so it works really, really good. So it's a line stow pouch.
How's the new reserve handle doing? Well, not so new, I guess now. But.
Yeah, we're talking about the my mind is going Spectra Reserve.
The Spectra Reserve.
Spectra Reserve, yeah. The recoil reserve handle, so if you knock it out of the pocket, it stays. It comes back as it recoils. It's doing well. We haven't had any problems with it either. Of course, we've been using Spectra as a ripcord in our Sigmas for 10 years or more before I started using this, so about 12 years in the Sigmas also. So it's good. It's not revolutionary. It doesn't make you skydive better. But everything's lighter, and the important thing to me is it costs $18.50 less per rig. Times 3,000 rigs a year is a lot of money. That's it. So it's good. It makes the rig cheaper to make, and should last just as long as anything else.
So what's coming up new and next? Can you shed any light on some secret stuff?
Actually, I have fulfilled all of my wish list from 40 years ago. Within about a year of skydiving, I identified 5 or 6 problems, and I've solved them. Pilot chute hesitations with a hand deploy, and breakaways from high-speed malfunctions with the 3-ring. I didn't like static line, worrying about people, so I've solved that with tandem, you know, and just things like that. I never liked looking at that little ball swedge on the end of the ripcord. I knew it would come off. So I've solved that because now it's knotted onto the handle. I can see myself, my ripcord is good. And I always worried about cutaways and people tumbling, and the Skyhook has fixed that. I've got reserves really well. my meshless reserve pilot chute pretty much cuts down pilot hesitations on reserve deployments the way the hand deploy did on main deployments. So I've done everything I can think of. So now I don't have a problem to solve. So now we're just refining, making things look better. I'd like to come with something new every year, but never for the purpose of doing something new. You know, you need a problem, you need something wrong. It needs to be major. When we went from Cape Wells to the 3-ring, we went from 6 motions with 2 hands to 1 motion with 1 hand. You can't do less than 1 motion with 1 hand, so you can't do functionally better. The Skyhook gets you reserved in a line stretch in a half a second. We can't go any faster than that. Tandem allows 2 people to go. We don't want to go 3, so we're kind of limited there.
Yeah.
So I really don't know what to do, quite frankly.
Well, one thing we haven't talked about this, and I know I'm going to kind of put you on the spot, but we're seeing technology really come into the skydiving world in a variety of ways, even to the point where people are talking, or people are implementing iPhone apps or Android apps as part of their skydive, using them as audible altimeters and visual altimeters. Have you got any thoughts about technology coming into the sport, the way that we're seeing electronics really happen?
Skydiving is a VFR activity over the airport and doesn't need a lot of GPS and instruments. The neat things that we have, of course, are audible altimeters and automatic activation devices. Those are the pieces of technology, and they're both pretty mature. We can improve on all of these things a little bit, but we don't need things that airplanes need to go cross country. We don't need navigation. Most times, if you're jumping in the clouds,
wingsuiters, we kind of need those. But
by the way, have you seen the video of the wingsuiter that has his canopy deploy and then sucks right back onto his
absolutely.
back? I'm warning the wingsuiters, they need longer lines in their canopies or they got to break the burble. That scared me. I know that burbles can get big. I've been working with them my whole life, but I've never seen a burble that was 10 feet tall that would push a canopy back to someone's back.
That's a very big wingsuit, and he was flying very well when that happened.
Very well, yeah, he was flying too well. You know, so yeah, I'm telling you, get a pilot chute that doesn't collapse, so it'll hold that junk there. Collapse your wings, or get longer lines. Or this is going to happen more, because wingsuits are that's what's amazed me, the technology there. And you know, I was thinking, the hand deploy pilot chute did a lot, because people tried wingsuits in the 20s and they tried them in the 50s. They all died. You know what they didn't have? They didn't have hand deploy pilot chutes. And so their pilot chutes got caught in the burbles and they got entanglements. Every famous wingsuiter died of main reserve entanglements after a main didn't deploy. So without hand deploy pilot chutes, we wouldn't have wingsuits maybe. So that was totally unintended use.
I never thought about that, about the impact you've had on even just wingsuiting.
What about base jumping? You think you're going to do base jumps with spring-loaded pilot chutes?
Oh, no, never.
So again, the hand deploy pilot chute was necessary for base jump to become what it has. Again, a totally unintended consequence of a technology. So the technologies enable a lot of new things, you know. And ram air parachute technology led to the design of the modern wingsuit. Inflatable wingsuit. Yeah. So there we go. So people are taking the technology designed for other things, and they're incorporating it into new ways to have fun. You know, swooping is kind of amazing. It's dangerous, but it's getting better. Remember when the life expectancy of a base jumper was 20 jumps, and now they can make 500-600. You know, all I know, if I jumped one parachute every jump, I'd be dead 6 times now.
Well,
so you know,
that's all you have is six cutaways?
6 malfunctions, yeah, and 6,000 jumps. That's about what you should, about 1 in 1,000. Oh, the actual reserve use is 1 in 607 according to USPA, but a lot of that is user error. It's kind of funny that we jump a life-saving device that malfunctions every 1,000 times, but we won't accept that malfunction rate that we accept in mains in any of the rest of our gear, which I think is funny, you know. If they came out with an automatic opener that malfunctioned every 1,000 times, they go, "Oh, that's terrible," you know. But there it is.
Well, on that note, you've expressed some opinions about AADs and opening altitudes and so forth. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I've caught some grief. I think that 750 feet is too low because parachute containers aren't perfect. Barometric pressure changes. When you've got something set to fire at 750, you got a 10-second canopy ride if everything goes right. And we just recently had the 2 fatalities, different rigs. One guy was tumbling, his instructor was chasing him, and they both went in a line stretch. If the automatic opener had been set higher, perhaps that wouldn't have happened. Now, I don't know all the details. I'm just speculating on that point, but the higher we set them, the more we'll have 2 outs. So it's a delicate balance. And when 750 feet was chosen, it's been great. It's saved countless lives. But maybe 850 feet might save 1 or 2 more, but you don't know till you do it. So it's my opinion that it ought to go higher. It ought to go 100, 200 feet higher. And all the AED manufacturers are making that accommodation. But then people they got to sacrifice 1 second of free fall to make their lives more likely to continue to grandparenthood. You know? And I think they can give up 1 second of free fall for that extra 200 feet, the automatic openers.
We've got a one thing that we know about these videos that we put up on the PIA channel is that the majority of the people that watch these, curiously enough, are people in the military, so probably young jumpers, and a lot of really young jumpers.
Yeah.
So if there's anything you would like to share with those young jumpers, whether it's Booth's Law or some other piece of advice, what would it be as we walk out of here?
Yeah, there are 2 Booth laws if they haven't heard it. One is, the lower you pull, the longer your parachute's going to take to open. I mean, that's just guaranteed. And that goes along with whichever line you're in is the longest. And the other one is, as we make the sport safer and safer, people will invent new ways to kill themselves to keep the fatality rate constant. We've seen that with swooping. You know, without swooping, we would have killed 12 people last year. When I started, there were 3,500 people in the Parachute Club of America. We had 57 fatalities that year. Now there's 35,000 people, and we had 18 this year.